I didn't notice the laughter at first. I noticed the way she moved. Clara stood by the counter, her face lit with a brightness I hadn't seen in years, leaning toward a man I didn't recognize. The world seemed to shrink around them. Every gesture, every tilt of her head, every casual touch on his arm spoke volumes that words never could. I lingered at the edge, invisible, a silent observer of my own life unraveling. In that instant, a strange calm settled inside me. There was no fury, no disbelief, only clarity. I didn't need explanations or confrontations. I had witnessed enough. Quietly, I turned and began toward the exit. I was finished. Just as my hand touched the door, a voice, sharp, urgent, stopped me. "Ethan." It carried across the room, breaking through conversations and music. Everyone glanced up. My instincts screamed at me to keep moving, but a flicker of curiosity, and maybe a need for closure, made me pause. She was running toward me now, her composure crumbling with every step. "Wait," she gasped. "It's not what you think." I almost smiled at the predictability of her defense. I hadn't shouted. I hadn't accused her. I had simply walked away, and that silence terrified her more than any confrontation could. Her explanation tumbled out in fragments. He was just a colleague, just talking, harmless. I listened without interrupting. My face betrayed nothing. She searched my expression, desperate for anger, jealousy, hurt, but there was none. Finally, I spoke. "I'm not leaving because of him. I'm leaving because of what I saw in you." I could see it then, the thrill, the ease, the absence of guilt. That cut deeper than any accusation. Her shoulders slumped. She whispered my name again, tentative this time, as if afraid to say it too loudly. Around us, people pretended not to notice, but the tension was palpable. Silence has its own weight. In that moment, I realized the power of stepping back. I wasn't pleading for her to stay. I was deciding if she deserved to. She suggested we talk outside. I agreed, not out of obligation, but to close this chapter with clarity. Under the night sky, her voice faltered as she admitted it. She liked the attention. She had felt invisible, unremarkable, and never intended it to go as far as it did. I nodded, not condoning her actions, but acknowledging her truth. Then I said what she wasn't prepared for. Feeling overlooked doesn't excuse betraying trust. She reached for my hand. I stepped away. That gesture said more than any argument could. She asked if I was leaving her. I paused, considering the life we had built together. Love without respect, I realized, becomes routine, not partnership. I told her I had already walked away once that night. Whether I should do so permanently was the question. Tears streaked her face as apologies spilled out. She promised it meant nothing, that she would end it. I believed her, but remorse comes too late. Calmly, I said words she would never forget. "You didn't lose me when you spoke to him. You lost me when you acted like I wasn't there." She broke down, finally understanding that emotion alone couldn't win back what had been broken. This wasn't about divorce threats or ultimatums. It was reality. Trust doesn't repair itself just because someone notices it too late. I needed space, not just quiet, not just distance. Real space to decide if the marriage I thought I had ever existed at all. She nodded, comprehending at last that shouting my name hadn't stopped me. It had only delayed what was inevitable. The drive home was silent. She didn't reach for her phone or the radio. She stared out the window, replaying the moments she wished she could erase. I felt calm, sorrowful yet grounded. At home, I packed a small bag. She lingered in the doorway, trembling. "Where are you going?" she asked.
I didn't know yet.
The uncertainty unsettled her more than a clear goodbye ever could. "Is there still hope?" she asked. I answered with honesty. Hope isn't built on apologies alone. It grows through consistency, something long absent. That night, I slept elsewhere, not out of anger, but out of self-respect. Walking away wasn't dramatic. It was necessary. For the first time, I didn't fear the unknown. In the following days, her messages shifted from panic to reflection, excuses to accountability. She admitted she had assumed I would fight, forgive, and move on like before. That acknowledgement stung but also clarified everything. She had mistaken patience for permanence. When we finally spoke, she listened more than she spoke. Change does not erase harm, it only recognizes it. And recognition, while essential, doesn't guarantee reconciliation. Looking back, the moment she called my name didn't save anything. It revealed everything. I didn't hesitate from weakness. I hesitated because I realized I could finally choose myself. Whether we rebuild or part ways remains uncertain. But one thing is certain, she will never forget the night I left calmly, without anger or chaos. That silence said more than any argument ever could. I learned that night something profound. Love is not proven by how loudly you demand attention, but by the dignity with which you leave when respect vanishes. Sometimes, the quietest exit is the strongest statement you'll ever make.